contract looks good. We appreciate your due diligence in going and finding that extra money, and frankly, the community partnership means an awful lot to us, so thank you. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it passes unanimously. Item number 3, request for approval of an interlocal agreement by and between Weber County. I don't even see Tina out there.
I don't
Somebody
see her here, but I'm
replace her. You can do it.
familiar
Okay.
with it.
Between Weber County and the Weber Area Dispatch 911 and Emergency Services District for the provision of a financial advisor and bond counsel.
So 911's looking at, to be able to build a new building. Just a little background on it. So 3 years ago, they approached the county commission then that they wanted a new building, 8, 9, 10 million around there, and go bond for it. And we elected not to. And so now there's come up with an option. We've looked at a lot of different options on different facilities and building, this, that, and another. And they've possibly come up with a way we could do it without increasing taxes. So we haven't seen that yet, but we do have to get bond counsel. State law changed a few years ago, so you have a separate person giving you counsel and then separate people where you buy your bonds from. It used to all be in one location, but they do them separate now. So they're gonna do similar. I think they're gonna just add on to our contract, aren't they, Dave? That we have with the county with bond counsel. I think they're just gonna continue to use our people that we use. So it's a good thing. So I'd make a motion that we accept the interlocal agreement between Weber County and the 911 dispatch.
Second.
And the second before us then, any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes unanimously. I think we're in a lot better place there than we were a few years ago. Appreciate
Absolutely.
2 members on our that represent the commission on that. What do we call that? Administrative Control Board.
Board, yeah.
Commissioner Bell and Commissioner Ebert. Appreciate your due diligence on that board. It's in a lot better place than it was.
Thank
All
you.
right, Mr. Wilson, discussion and or action on the termination of the Justice Court agreement by and between Weber County and Roy City.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Before Fatima tells me to bring that mic down, I'll do it. You may be aware of this, I know at least one of you is, that for some time the sheriff and Mr. Allred have been working to find some alternates for the current Justice Court to make it more convenient for both those people who have to appear in court and also for the officers. Our current interlocal with Roy, however, requires that we give them at least a year's notice before we move away from them. I talked with Mr. Allred this morning and the sheriff, and he are still working with some cities. They think they've identified the cities that they'll be able to do that in, but they would like to proceed with having the commission give notice to Roy to terminate that interlocal agreement.
So is it anticipated that Roy might still be part of the overall solution, or?
I don't think so.
Is it all just geographic? Is that the purpose?
That's the biggest part of it, I believe.
Interesting. Okay.
So if somebody was to get a ticket clear up on Monte Cristo, you'd have to go to Roy City for court. Because Roy City handles the Justice Court for Weber County. We used to have our own court, but when we closed it, we went to them. But I think when it gets said and done, Dave, if I'm talking too much, I think when it gets said and done, we'll use 2 or 3 courts in Weber County to divide the unincorporated areas, because this is just for unincorporated.
It is, at least 2 and possibly 3, I think.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Okay, well, we'll move forward and give that a year to work itself out, it sounds like, with the sheriff.
I'll make a motion that we send a letter of termination between Roy City Justice Court and Weber County.
Second.
Okay, motion and second then to approve this contract, the termination of this contract. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes. And finally, item number 6, request for approval of a memorandum of understanding by and between the Weber County and Hill Air Force Base 75th Security Forces Squadron for housing of military male and female detainees and inmates. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ewert.
How
Good
are
to
you?
see you. Good.
This is just an extension or a renewal of a contract that we have with Hill Air Force Base to house their military prisoners and inmates in our facility. So there really isn't anything different about this agreement than what we've been doing in the past. And so I'm just here to ask for your approval for this agreement.
So do we have very many, this classification? I mean,
No, we
Not very
usually
often,
only
is it?
have 1 or 2 in our facility at any given time.
you know,
Any other questions?
I think it's a great contract, and I'll make a motion, we accept that memorandum of understanding between Weaver County and Hill Air Force Base, the 75th Security Forces Squadron to house military inmates, detainees.
Second.
Okay, motion and second then to approve this contract as stated. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we just have our final item, which is public comment. Is there any from the public who would like to come up and comment today? If so, please come to the microphone, state your name for the record. Good to see you.
Aye.
Hello. Miranda Mingus. I'm on the board of Weber Pathways, but I'm also a resident of Eden. And I'd like to extend our thanks from the community of Eden to the Weber County and commissioners for assisting with funding and the good work that's being done by the planning and engineering departments in helping to get the process of getting the trail in and started. It will go from, as Charlie said, the 4-way stop up to Wolf Creek. John Lewis has shown wonderful leadership. We're all enjoying the process of building a wonderful community at Wolf Creek, and having that trail will be great. The ultimate happened this weekend. A lady with a blind person's cane was seen walking along the edge of the roadway, and we are so looking forward to having a different place for people like her and all the children to walk. So thank you so much to the commission, to the commissioners, to John Lewis, and to UDOT for the funding of this very important trail.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate those comments.
And thank you for the time and effort and energy you put into strengthening that community. It takes citizens many times to move most of this forward.
I should add, we've got some wonderful support from the landowners, which is just great to see. We've talked to many of them, and official notification has gone out to all landowners now to discuss how to fit the trail into the available right-of-way. But thank you so much to everyone, and to the landowners in particular. We're trying to respect their rights for their land and find a space for the trail. Thank you.
So Miranda, 1 second. So a couple of years ago, we started working on doing puncher weed and so we set up an area in the county to do it. Have we started reaching some of those goals, or are we not where, I'm sure we're a long way from where we need to be, but where are we at on that, in your perception?
Puncture vine is...
Or, general stuff like that on trails.
Weeds in general are one of the things that I've been working on. Puncture vine, we have our places where we have success and places where we have less success. The county's right-of-way up to the antenna tower, I think, is close to being free of puncture vine now.
Well, good.
It was a very small area, so we've been working on that one. The port ramp is still a concern, as are the margins of the roads. John Lewis, again, has shown great leadership in controlling Dyer's Road up in Wolf Creek, which hadn't been tackled for a long time. We've also been tackling thistles. So it's an ongoing battle, but some successes.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, any others who would like to comment?
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Darren Westergaard with Weber County Farm Bureau. And I'd like to invite you, along with any other county elected officials, to our county annual banquet this Saturday evening at the West Weber Community Gym, and it's starting at 6:30. So, there it is.
What do they do at that?
We have dinner.
Let me ask you this. Do they serve chicken?
Beef.
Beef?
It's what's for dinner.
Beef. Okay. Probably dairy cow, maybe. I'm okay with that, but I mean,
Probably not.
okay, beef.
And I would also like to thank you as the commissioners for supporting agriculture in our county. It is much appreciated. So,
I agree. Thank you.
I'm going to help him out just a little bit and help people to understand that there's not only dinner at that meeting, but it's a great opportunity. I've been to this several times, and it's a good opportunity to highlight and recognize family farming families. They pick out some family farming families and highlight them, as well as talk about issues that are important to agriculture in the county, which, by the way, is over $350 million in gross receipts to the county on a direct basis, not to mention the multiplier effect. So something that's very important to our overall economy. So thank you, Mr. Westergaard. We appreciate your comments.
Well, and I think that it's important with the agriculture. And the other thing is I think the other good part of it is fainting goats. Should be part of the,
We own
you're gonna
one.
laugh. Do you have a
This,
fainting goat?
this is a constant argument between whether or not goats should be in the fair. So for those of you who are not in the inner sanctum of where the jokes come from, it's about the fair.
So you need to see how cute these little baby fainting goats are. And not only that, but they could be sold at the fair for meat goats. You know, goat is one of the most eaten meat in the world. So why at the Farm Bureau meeting are we not having goat? Anyway, that's another point. I think Rob Bishop's office is here. Thank you for coming to our commission meeting. You probably didn't see him come in, so.
I was trying to get him to make a motion to adjourn this
I'm not,
meeting.
because I will after I make this comment.
Oh, no.
I think that sometimes in our economic development, we stay focused on our aerospace and advanced composites. We're very focused on our outdoor sports. We're very focused into our tourism. Those are all anchors within the county. But an anchor we do not talk about is our agricultural anchor. It's the anchor that this county was founded on, and it continues to be a large anchor that we are focused on. So we don't many times talk about it, maybe because we take it for advantage. But these families that have these family farms and what they produce and then what they bring to our economy and to our community, the values, we need to make sure we continue to loud out to the rest of the world, not just the county and the state, because there are very few places in this state that have this community and have this environment. And so we have a little bit of fun, but we need to remember that agriculture is an anchor within our county, and we need to cherish it. So I just wanted to add that. I was schooled on that not too long ago, so, and the data reflects that. So, thank you.
Well, I'll make a motion that we are gonna do something, but I still think goats at the fair would be a really good thing. I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Thank you for coming.
What